Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daryl Roots, and I'm here to talk to you today about the wonderful world of aquarium fish and aquarium building. No matter what type of fish you're looking to house, whether it be Oscars, African cichlids, saltwater fish, or even Asian cichlids, I can tell you the proper tank size and the proper environment for whatever fish it is that you're looking to house. Now, just a little bit about my background. I've been raising tropical fish, African cichlids, saltwater fish for over 25 years. And not to date myself, but I've been doing this since I was the tender age of 13. Now, basically, when you're putting together a tank for your fish, there are 5 crucial steps that you have to adhere to. The first step you need to do before you even start thinking about the tank size or what type of tank you want to build is what type of fish do you want to house. Let's just say for this speech we're going to do African cichlids. Now, when you do a little bit of research on your fish, you want to know a little bit about the water environment the fish will live in, the size of the fish will eventually get to when it's full grown, and the habitat that the fish lives in. So for African cichlids, the things that we know, they live in a brackish water environment. What brackish means is that it's basically somewhat salty, not very salty, but it does have some salt content. Generally, the pH level of the water is very high, and it's a rocky environment in this instance for which the African cichlids live in. They're basically indigenous to the African lakes of Lake Malawi and Lake Tanzania. Also, one thing to notice, the fish that are in this environment generally grow to the size from 5 inches to a maximum of about 7 inches long. So knowing that, we know that we're going to need a pretty large size tank for this. So I would tell you that we probably would want to start with somewhere with about a 75-gallon tank. Okay? The first step after we get the decision on what fish we want to buy is the tank setup. Now, I will also have a PowerPoint presentation that I would like all of you to look at in doc sharing. So please view that, view my PowerPoint when you get a chance to do that. Now, back to the tanks. For the tank size, as I said, we're going to do a 75-gallon tank. Now, for our filtration, we're going to have 150-gallon Flowville filtration system. Now, what that means with the 75-gallon Flowville filtration system, this particular pump will aerate and it will pump 300 gallons of water per hour. This is more than enough filtration and aeration for a 75-gallon tank. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the decorations and the sand base that you're going to use for this. You're going to use a coral mixed with sand base for your bedding. Okay? We're also going to load it up with tons of rocks because these fish like to hide in various caverns and holes in the tank. Now we're going to decorate it with probably just a few floating pieces of log throughout the tank. Now, once we have our sediment down, the tank size down, and how we're going to decorate it, we want to prime the water. So what we want to do is make sure that the water level is brought up to a pH level of 7 to 9. Okay? Once we have it at the proper pH level, we can actually go out and get our fish. Now, once we go out and get the African cichlids for the tank, we want to introduce them to the tank by floating our bags for about 15 minutes. Now, those are pretty simple steps to introducing yourself to African fish, or no matter what type of fish you have. Those are the simple steps. Now, let's just review what we have done. We want to go and size the tank. We want to do the proper bedding. We want to do the decorations, and we want to prime the water, and we want to float our fish. Now that we've all know all that, we've got the 5 steps down to doing the proper environment for African cichlids. Now, please, once again, go to Doc Sharing, take a look at my pictures and my PowerPoint, and you will see a nice setup for an African cichlid tank. Thank you very much.